Sorry, I'm trying to finish my coffee. I did use transfers from, um, I got from the Dollar Tree, and I did my coffee cup, and I did a water goblet. I drink sweet tea, wine, juice, water, smoothies sometimes out of this, because this is it's my thickest water goblet. I used to have a whole set of these, and all but that one is left. So, week 3 for Buckland's Big Blue was tools, clothing, and names. And he goes over how to make some of your own tools, like the athame, the wand. He goes over what they mean. He goes over a robe, and he even has a little instruction thing about how you could like make your own robe. He talks about jewelry. He talks about inscriptions and how to put your name through glyphs on your tools. He also talks about finding your birth number and your witch name. My birth number is 9, and the name that I do have is it does equal 9 as well. So I did follow through with that. And I chose Tempest Willow because since I am on the cusp of Cancer and Leo. I was born on a full moon. I am a Leo whose moon is in Cancer, and like I said, I am on the cusp of Cancer and Leo. Some astrology books, websites, etc. will say that I am Cancer. Some will say that I am Leo. I am a combination of the two. But I'm a fire and a water sign, a sun and a moon. And I did, like I said, I found out I was born on a full moon. So I find it all very interesting. I would have thought that my name with numerology would more have been like a 7, because my birth name, each one of my 3 names has 7 letters in it originally. And I have a 7 in freckles, moles on my stomach, makes a 7. I was born in the 7th year in 67. So, but based on what I did through this and through other, number 9. So, okay, so now Wicca, a year and a day, Timothy Roderick's. I find this really interesting. However, the only thing I have a problem with this book is that, like for day 22, which was yesterday, you need an orange candle and myrrh or orris root. Okay, so he has this list, and he talks about like what you'll need. And honestly, between buying the books and some of the tools and candles themselves, and I can't afford to go buy a bunch of expensive herbs. I'm growing my own basil and mint. I do have sea salt, I have some sage, I have rose petals, I have bay leaves, I have cinnamon sticks. I have a number of things that are in my kitchen already. But you can't find myrrh for your kitchen, at least not where I live. So this is like myrrh resin or orris root. So I am going to order a sampler kit, and I will hopefully be able to order it Friday. I was hoping I'd be able to order it this past Friday, but I could not. And hopefully soon I will get the herbs, and I will go back to some of the things that I need to do, like where they actually have 27 says a green candle, a blend of dried meadowsweet and oak bark to burn as incense. Now, I have the compass. The compass is on my keychain. I don't have meadowsweet or oak bark. Now I have an oak tree, and I could get oak bark off of that tree if I ask the tree nicely and give the tree back something. But I don't know about dried meadowsweet, and I'm still learning, so I don't even know exactly what dried meadowsweet is, so I have to look it up. And then I need to see if there's something comparable that I can get either at Walmart or Kmart or the grocery store, and find out if that's something that I could do. I know that back in the day, witches did not like have access to online stores that they could get herbs from. So I'm trying to figure out. I don't have an herb book. My father-in-law has one, and I'm going to borrow his. And I'm going to go from there. So that's kind of what's going on right here. I am going to definitely plant an herb garden though. I will be getting seeds so that by next spring I will be able to have a lot of this all on my own, and then go from there. And so stay tuned for the rest of, I have some books. I'm going to show you some books. My small stash of books that I have, either from books I already had and some of the books that I have gotten, and a few other things. So thank you. Bye. The psychic pathway I have had for, I don't know, a long time. I'd have to check when it was published, because that's when I got it. The Dictionary of Angels and the Best Loved Fairy Tales, 60 fairy tales of, I believe that's the Brothers Grimm, Great Illustrated Fairy Tales. I've got Enchanted Fairy Tales by Disney, Dante, the Greek myths, some philosophy stuff. I'm writing the paranormal novel, blah, blah. I am writing a novel, so that's what that one's for. Linda Goodman's love poems, and I don't know what happened to my Linda Goodman astrology book. A field guide to demons, fairies, fallen angels, and other subversive spirits. I've had some of that stuff is information for my book. Wicked is actually one of my favorite books. The Secret Commonwealth of Elves, Fauns, and Fairies, The World Guide to Gnomes, Fairies, Elves, and Other Little People, New Astrology, which combines Eastern and Western astrology, The Element Encyclopedia of Birthdays, Witchcraft, the History of Mythology, The Secret Language of Relationships, which is astrology. It's the complete personal, they call it personology. It's based on the week of your birth. Celtic Folk Soul. So that's just the beginning of my books. This is my altar for now. I have all kinds of little goodies in there. There's a feather and my handmade pentacle. Burned incense earlier, and here is my shelf. The tarot cards are on the bottom. Some herbs and stuff like that are in there. My broom, that's just adorable. My little bells for my door. For Maybon. And then Samhain, once we get to October, I will change what is in the middle. So we're gonna take a walk outside. I planted roses at the beginning of the spring. That says welcome, friends. My roses. See my little gnomes. More little gnomes. Yes, those are little angels. And more flowers and more little rocks. Guess we'll get off of the Zoom. And then I have my Elvis frog. And this is my wild climbing rose. I clipped it and got it from my parents. It grows all around where my mom and dad live, and those are I don't know why I kept this out all year, but they're on a sleigh, little kids. And my big aloe plant,
And so this is my front porch, which I need to clean. That is a planter with the clinging rose. I brought it back from my parents the last time we visited, so that we can plant it in my mother-in-law's yard and wrap it around her light post. And these are azaleas that I have clippings from my parents, and we planted them. And so we're gonna come outside to my favorite spot. "15 or 20 years ago, in my late 20s, very early 30s, so, and I'm 48 now. But yeah, between the 15 and 20 years ago, I started checking into Wicca. I bought Silver Ravenwolf's The Solitary Witch and started reading it and started studying up about it. I wasn't sure, but I kind of had already questioned my my spiritual path and had left the Christian religion, and I wasn't quite sure where I was going at the time. I had pretty much kind of gone the agnostic route, and but when I started reading the book, I've already gotten something on my white shirt. It's not a good thing. But I started questioning the path, and I read up about Wicca, and I saw some of the spells. Well, then I ended up working a job where I was working like 50, 60 hours a week, and it just wasn't conducive to study or anything else. I had dropped out of college. My kids were teenagers, and they both had braces and stuff like that. So it was a really hectic time in my life. So I stopped studying Wicca, and after a while it just wasn't really, it wasn't on the forefront of my mind. Well, about 2 years ago or so, I started doing some research again on witchcraft, hereditary witches, natural witches, the old religion, the craft of the wise women, healers, that kind of thing. I was writing a book, and the reason that I started doing that, oh, the bird got a caterpillar, and I missed it, but she has him in her mouth. It's the cycle of life, guys. It's the cycle of life. Oh yeah, and she's gone. She's like, oh hell no, because another bird flew by. Let me find her again. One of the great things about being in nature, when I come outdoors, when I come out in the backyard, is that I get to see all of the bounty of nature. Look at that sky. Look, and now you're going to hear the planes. Just, I mean, how gorgeous is that? Is that not like beautiful? Like I talked about before, my grandmother was either a natural witch or she was, I don't know, in some kind of pagan monotheistic religion, or maybe not a religion, pagan witchcraft, something. So, and I've talked about how I've known things and have a psychic ability and things like that, how I talked to ghosts when I was younger. And really funny, because when you think about all the different things that happen on your path of life, not just your spiritual path, but your journey in life, different things happen and they lead you to a place, and sometimes that place is somewhere you never expected to be. I never expected to be on the path for paganism, witchcraft, Wicca. I would not have expected that. I find it very interesting, but at the same time, I think it's subconsciously I've always known. I think subconsciously it was a choice I made a long time ago without even knowing it. I'm thinking about planting an herb garden. Thinking about planting an herb garden right around here. But now that I think about it, I am seriously contemplating planting an herb garden right around here. Okay, so I have mint now and basil. So along with the aloe, which is over here underneath there, and the roses.